If anybody one day were to come up to me and ask me, hey Ash, who exactly is the laziest when it comes to content creation, I'd probably say reaction streamers / content creators, if you could really call them that. More specifically, the ones that tend to not really talk or add too much to the conversation or topic video that they're reacting to. A few days ago, Ethan Klein essentially released a video on his channel where he revealed that he rigged his content nuke on Hassan Piker to act as bait for certain streamers who he knew would watch it, which would serve as evidence and allegedly be the main reason why he's suing these 3 specific creators. These 3 include Casey, Tron, Frogan, and Denims. The reasons why he's doing this to these 3 specifically is because, as he says in this clip that I'm about to show you, those 3 streamers go above and beyond to take views away from his video, offering an alternative to just watching the original content. This, coupled with the fact that I believe Denims and Frogan both went to the bathroom and left their videos playing for their stream, was probably the straw that broke the camel's back.
That I formulated an idea. What if I could make a long-form, irresistible piece of content that I knew that these streamers couldn't resist, they couldn't avoid the temptation of watching it the second it was published?
I don't have an issue with them.
It's not that I wanted these people to steal my video. It's that I knew they would. I knew they would watch the entire video, add little to no commentary, react to it instantly, giving them no time to form an opinion. The trap was set, and it worked even better than I imagined it would. We captured pretty much every large streamer reacting to it in its entirety immediately after it was published. Now the thing is, there were a few people that went above and beyond to commit copyright infringement. For example, Denim sits here silently with nearly 50,000 live viewers. That's 30 times her regular viewership. She's working directly with the Snark subreddit moderators to siphon views, and their intentions couldn't be clearer. Here's an excerpt from a stickied post from the Snark subreddit. Hey everyone, we've seen a lot of comments about wanting to watch the nuke without showing support for H3. Here's a list of creators who've supported our sub, either by engaging with us directly or citing our post in their critique of H3. Here they're offering these streamers as market substitutes for my work. This is the cardinal sin of copyright infringement. The Snark subreddit has been a frequent and persistent infringer. That's how I knew when this video came out, the Snarkers were going to encourage, promote, and push streamers to commit copyright infringement. I should thank the Snarkers actually. Because of their predictability, they acted like double agents for us, incriminating their favorite streamers and serving them up on a golden platter. So, thank you, Snark. It's one thing for a subreddit to admit it's engaging in copyright infringement, but how do you get the streamers themselves to admit that they're stealing content?
Now, in my opinion, when it comes to this whole situation, I feel like when you're reacting to certain stuff live, let's say it's like an hour-long video or 2-hour-long video, the resulting piece of content that you make should at least be 1 to 2 times longer than the original piece of content, because at least then you're doing the bare minimum. Obviously, you can go further in regards to transformative content, but the type of content, quote unquote, that creators like Hassan, Frogan, Denims are usually called out for, and the things that people specifically have an issue with, is the fact that they won't pause the video, say, oh, I'm gonna go use the bathroom or go get something to eat, and just let the entire video play out, come back and ask, hey, what happened? And rely on their chat to fill in the blanks. That in no way is being transformative. Just because you have a face cam with an empty chair, or hell, you could have your face in it, and if you're not adding anything to the conversation, if you're not giving your opinions at the very least, and then when you're finished with the video, you say, hey, if you don't want to support the original creator of the video, you can watch this, throw me a sub, throw a prime or whatever. I don't know how fucking Twitch works. You're essentially just asking your audience to support you for stealing somebody else's content. I totally get what Ethan Klein is saying, and to be completely honest, I wish that that sort of content would stop. It negatively impacts video creators who I support more than streamers, if I'm honest. And some of the videos that they'll react to from other creators that aren't in drama or anything like that, people that make long documentaries, hour-long documentaries, that stuff takes time. Out of the hour that you watch, they probably cut out like 2 hours, 3 hours of actual content that was unedited. So in my opinion, I don't think anybody should be surprised that this has happened. I don't know why it hasn't happened sooner, to be honest with you, because stuff like this has been going on for so long. And just as Ethan says in the beginning of his video, this was the entire reason why ReactGate happened. It was because content creators on YouTube or wherever else were noticing that people who were streaming and trying to make videos on their content would take the thumbnail, put their face on it, and barely say anything, barely pause the video or give their opinions, and just profit off of that. It was like an infinite content farm that you could get paid from and do essentially no work while you just sit there and eat.
Let me tell you guys a story. About a year and a half ago, there's a big conversation called ReactGate. ReactGate was a debate going on in the streaming community about what constituted fair use. People like Hassan, XQC, and many of the large Twitch streamers would watch other creators' entire video on their stream. They would rarely add sufficient commentary or even pause the video to speak. Most egregiously, they would re-upload the entire VOD to YouTube with the same thumbnail, the same title, so that they could cannibalize traffic from the original video. Here's what Lamino had to say about this phenomenon.
I don't mind people reacting to my videos, but I do mind when they play the entirety of my video. A face cam in the corner or the occasional interruption does nothing to address that issue. My video is still being played from beginning to end in someone else's stream or video. It's neither ethical nor necessary to feature the entirety of someone else's work. Or, they could do the bare minimum and ask for permission. Something that none of the major reaction channels have ever done when they've streamed or re-uploaded my videos. But to answer your question, no, I don't want people to stream or re-upload the entirety of my videos.
Now, in my opinion, whenever it comes to reacting to content, I feel like Asmongold is probably a good example to follow, because whenever I'm watching his videos on other people's videos, even though he is the type to put his face on a thumbnail that somebody else created and is like, yo, yeah, he's reacting to this video, his videos are usually just as long or substantially longer than the original content, because it's full of him actually giving his opinion. Sometimes this guy will go on actual tangents, 10-minute, 15-minute tangents on the topic that he's talking about. And so I'm assuming that that's the reason why nobody has come after Asmongold for the same reasons, or at least so far that I've seen. Like, there's a difference between you reacting to something and being genuinely locked in with the video, pausing, giving your opinions, and then carrying on, versus you sitting there munching on your burrito or something, saying, oh, all right, I'm gonna go take a break, I'm not gonna pause the video, you guys just fill me in when I get back. Reactions to the drama have been varied. I know a lot of people are in support of it, but the people who aren't as in support of Ethan doing something like this is because of what his earlier content was like. But a bigger reason why people aren't really messing with this decision is because Ethan has had ongoing drama with these streamers that he's suing. And so it just kind of seems like a petty way to get back at them, rather than what he's saying it actually is, which is them stealing his content. Leon Lush says it's ironic that one of the major stepping stones in Ethan's early career was him winning in a fair use lawsuit against Matt Hassanzada after the internet largely rallied around him in an effort that ultimately set important precedent to protect creators from copyright abuse. You could argue that what a lot of streamers do today, watch full pieces of content without adding value, is not fair use, but either way, this feels petty and pathetic as a tactic to silence his detractors. He might be one of the pettiest people on YouTube, so altogether not unexpected, I guess. If these streamers he was suing didn't suck so bad, I'd consider donating to the defense, but I'll just have to wait and see how this plays out from the sideline. Apparently, there's also been some archiving done by the H3 subreddit on Denim's Twitch account, because from a recent live stream that she did, she tried to prove that her original reaction to the content nuke didn't really violate anything from copyright standards, but then the subreddit found out that she cut out an important part from the highlight that she was going over in that very recent stream.
Go to my channel right now, you can see. Oh my God. Videos, highlights. And here it is. Here's the highlight. This is the highlight that I uploaded so that I could have it on record. I guess I must have had the thought already before to do this, but yeah, it's right here. And here is the entire reaction that I had to the content puke. So I need you to listen. Twitch auto deletes VODs after 60 days. But luckily, I actually saved that highlight. So it's actually up right here. 3 hours and 52 minutes of glorious React content to the content nuke. It's right here. All of it in its entirety. Before I start watching, right before I start watching, all the way till I'm done watching. All right, buddy? It's all right there.
Fuck this dude.
Wow. That's gotta be like top 5 worst videos I've ever seen in my fucking life. Yeah, that's pretty bad. That was pretty dog shit, I'm gonna be honest. I don't want to see anything like that ever again. Please, I'm begging you, Klein, stop making videos. They're not good. They're not good. Well, guys, if you enjoyed not giving any views to that terrible video, follow, subscribe, throw a prime, If you like the content, if you enjoyed your time here,
Asmongold also had a take that I wanted to include in here because, to be quite honest, it's pretty funny. But I agree when he says that most excuses that they might come up with or that they usually have are not going to work in a court of law, especially considering the evidence that's against them, because they do stuff like this for a lot of their content. Get up and film their chair and just have their audience fill them in on what they missed. But yeah, guys, finally, I want to say that if you are the type to react to things that are live and you want to react to like an hour-long video or a 2-hour-long video or whatever, keep in mind that you should pause and go and give your opinions and then keep playing the video to see what else is said and actually have a live reaction to it instead of just sitting there and just blinking and going up to go use the bathroom. And if you have to take care of something off camera, just pause the video and come back. Denims and Caseytron purposefully and outright just saying that they're watching the full video so that other people don't have to support Ethan Klein was one of the dumbest things that they did, because then they just straight up incriminated themselves right there. Anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for me today. Obviously, I'll make more videos on this subject as the updates come out, but with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Sub up, stay safe, and peace.